Hello and welcome to my channel Mystical Art. Today I'm doing a psychic art reading on Marilyn Monroe because I felt her energy around me recently. When I do psychic art readings, I use my intuition and I follow the images I am shown in my thoughts from spirit. I often feel spirit guiding my hand physically too. I will be channeling messages from Marilyn in this video as well. At the end of this video I will be including a poem inspired by Marilyn's life by Kelly from Kelly's Magical Realm. She has a YouTube channel if you'd like to check out her beautiful poetry. Now back to the reading. Please remember that when I'm doing psychic art, the image may not look exactly like the person as I'm not drawing from a photo. This is a psychic interpretation of the images I'm seeing through my third eye. The image of Marilyn that I'm drawing is not the image we usually associate with her. When I was doing this drawing, she was showing me her younger self. She was showing me herself the way she looked before she was famous, when she had darker hair. And she's saying in this reading she doesn't want to focus on her passing. She says that most people know intuitively the truth about her passing, but in this reading she wants to focus on her younger self, and she particularly wants to focus on self-love, the importance of self-love. Marilyn was loved by everyone, but no one loved Norma Jean. It's really sad. She's saying that Norma Jean never felt loved, and she's saying that at first the idea of playing this character Marilyn was very appealing to her because it was a chance for her to escape being Norma Jean. She didn't feel happy being Norma. She's saying that she was quite naive when she was young, and she was desperate to escape an unhappy life. She's saying that when she agreed to play in this role of Marilyn, she didn't realise the full impact that it would have. The idea of playing someone who she was made to believe would be the perfect woman, and she's using inverted commas. She's saying the perfect woman. Marilyn wasn't the perfect woman, but this is what she was made to believe at first. She was persuaded to be this person because she wanted love. All she'd ever wanted in life is love. And she's saying that the idea of Hollywood being glamorous is just an image. She's saying it's not how it appears. And she's talking about how celebrities are moulded into being certain characters or following certain narratives in order to influence the masses, and she was moulded into being this character of Marilyn, and she didn't realise it at the time, but she was moulded into this character of Marilyn in order to create insecurity in women, all women including herself. She's saying that no one could live up to this character of Marilyn, not even her, because she wasn't Marilyn, and she discovered as her life went on that she was very unhappy playing this role. She didn't feel that she didn't want to be Marilyn anymore. She wanted people to love her for who she was, but she wasn't able to go back from this. And she keeps talking to me about this team of people around her who were controlling her all the time, controlling her every move, and she had to always live her life in this image. She wasn't allowed to let her character slip. She's saying she's making me feel that everything she did was monitored, even what she ate, and her life was so controlled that there were times when she forgot how to be Norma Jean. She was always having to play this role, and she says it was very exhausting having to always be this character. And she's talking to me about Britney Spears and the control around her, and she's saying that she's not the first celebrity to be treated this way. She's making me feel like her life was quite similar in some ways to Britney's. She's saying that she was always controlled all the time. She was made to doubt herself. She was made to feel like she was crazy all the time. She's talking to me about people giving her pills and people being quite manipulative with how they spoke to her team around her. They were always telling her that she was wrong for wanting certain things. They would tell her that she was selfish for wanting a normal life. And she's saying that this team didn't want her to have a baby, and she says they would do anything to stop her, because having a baby was one of her biggest wishes. I feel like it was her big dream, and she's saying that it was taken from her. She says that the idea of her having a child was definitely not what her team wanted for her. She says that they knew that if she had a child, it would take her away from Hollywood, and there was too much money to be made from her. And because of this need for her to have a certain image all the time, they didn't want her to have a child. And her energy is very loving, very gentle, and she keeps talking about having a baby and about how much this meant to her, having someone that she could love. She's saying that she wore her heart in her sleeve, and all her life she was just always longing for love, and she felt that she was never enough for the men in her life, for her family and for the men in her life. She says that people long to have her life, but if they saw what it was like, they would think it was a nightmare. She's talking about one of her relationships, and there was a partner who was older than her, she says, and he was very controlling. She says that he didn't love her for Norma Jean, he loved her for being Marilyn. She wasn't allowed to let this mask slip. She says whenever she showed her vulnerability around him, it would anger him. And she's saying that she blamed herself a lot for the problems in this relationship. She felt if she could be more perfect, that he would love her, and it broke her heart that he couldn't accept her for who she was. And she keeps using this word perfect all the time because she always felt that she had to be this way. And she's talking about a child in spirit, and I feel like she was meant to have a boy at some point. There was a baby that she lost at some point during her life. She's telling me that she could feel the energy of this child around her in spirit during her life. She just knew intuitively that this was her baby around her, and this baby was meant to bring so much love to her, and it was meant to help her change her path. But she does have some anger about this, as this was taken from her. She's making me feel like there was someone who caused the passing of this child, and she's feeling angry. And this child remained around her in the spirit world, sending her healing, and greeted her when she passed over. And she's asking us to not get so caught up in the celebrity lifestyle. It may be fun to watch these celebrities and to imagine ourselves with a glamorous lifestyle like this, but she keeps saying this is all image, it's not how it appears. And she's saying that no one hands you success like that without a drawback. And she's saying that her fame definitely cost her a lot. She didn't know what she was getting into at the time. She's saying that she was naive at the start of her career, and she was lured in to Hollywood with all these promises. And she wants to talk about the importance of self-love. She's saying that if she was given enough love growing up, she wouldn't have sought to find happiness in outside influences, she wouldn't have been chasing after fame the way that she was. She spent most of her life blaming herself for the bad things that happened to her, and she wished that she was able to have more compassion for herself. She's saying, don't look up to me as a glamorous icon, because my life wasn't glamorous. She's saying she wants to be remembered for being loving, for being kind and loving. She says that she felt sometimes that she was the girl who loved too much. And she's saying how important it is for us to keep loving ourselves and for us to show love to others. She says when you can't find love, you will always be searching for love. And her soul is connected to the vibration of love and the heart chakra. And I feel that she incarnated quite soon after her passing. I'm connecting to her higher self now, but she's saying that she did incarnate quite quickly afterwards because she wasn't able to fulfill the path that she was meant to fulfill in her life as Marilyn. I feel that she's had a few lifetimes close together. She jumped back in straight away. She's saying that she felt she was upset that she wasn't able to achieve what she was meant to do. She was taken off path and she jumped back in to live another life, but she's not famous in this life. Her soul wants to stay away from Hollywood in order to fulfill her purpose now. And I keep feeling this connection, this loving, motherly, loving, gentle healing with her, and I feel that she was always meant to be a voice to others, be a voice to people who are suffering. She is a healer, and I feel that she is working towards this purpose in her current life. And she keeps showing me the throat chakra and communication, because she was a good communicator in her life as Norma Jean or Marilyn. She was very charismatic, a good communicator, and this throat chakra again is very strong in her current life. I keep singing with her. She's doing something to do with singing, and but she's also healing people, because this was always her soul's intention. I feel that she was meant to have this big stage, this fame, in order to give a message of healing to other people. If she was able to live longer, she would have sought the help that she needed. I feel like having a child would have been a really big step to her. It would have helped her to love herself. When she's loving this child, she would love herself, and from this she would get her own power, and she was going to be a voice to people who are suffering, particularly women. She keeps showing me this need to heal and love other women. She's saying that we should all be empowering each other. She was a Gemini life as Marilyn, so this is the connection again with communication. She really wanted to send out this message that we are more than just an image. But I feel that she's living a happier life now. She's able to give strength to, she keeps showing me women. She's helping other women, and she's using her voice. And she's talking about self-acceptance. And she says until we can accept ourselves, we'll always be jumping from one thing to the other. We'll always be comparing ourselves. We'll always be jumping onto the next fad. She's saying that there'll always be people who will seek to disempower us by telling us that we're not enough because they don't feel enough themselves. And she says that it does take a lot of strength of character to accept ourselves and to not let the words of other people define us in our lives. And she wants us just to try and distance ourselves from the celebrity lifestyle that we see on TV. She says that we can't compare ourselves to these people because it's all just an image. And she's talking about the heart chakra again and how important healing this is, especially at the moment. She says there's a lot of pain on earth, there's a lot of arguments, there's a lot of suffering going on, and she's talking about the importance of connecting with our own hearts. We've spent taking time to heal ourselves and asking our hearts what we need. Sometimes we just need to be gentle with ourselves. We need to distance ourselves from everyday life, the pressures of everyday life, and focus and do something kind for ourselves. She wishes she was able to make more time to practice self-love. And I see a lot of gentle, loving, pink light around Marilyn. When I was drawing her, I also saw a dove, which I painted in the picture, and she's shown me the dove. The dove is a sign of peace, and she's saying that she has found peace, and she's talking about the importance of finding inner peace through self-acceptance. I feel the dove is a spirit animal connected to her because she's got this strong link with the dove, and she keeps talking about the importance of finding peace, of not comparing ourselves to others, and finding love within ourselves. Thank you for watching. Now here's a poem from Kelly.
I woke up at 4:44 a.m. about a month ago and felt Marilyn's presence around me. And this is a poem that I channeled from her. The one person you thought that it would never be. One touch from you was all that I would need. One heart beating in two separate bodies. Being without you is something that I never thought would be. The loss of you was more than I could take. The cost of you was a price I had to pay. I love life, but it didn't love me back. The people that I trusted the most were the ones who stabbed me in the back. They fed me so many pills until I had a heart attack. They thought it was depression that I had. I started to feel like Alice in Wonderland. It was the pills that they put me on. Snow was a happy memory for me. It was an early memory, watching the snowflakes fall down. I was always moving around, early on to different army towns. Life would never slow down, so I never did get to enjoy it. It's as if I was never fully there. They told me who to be and what to say. They changed my hair and changed my name. But I was just a girl. I didn't know who my dad was. I tried so hard to please a mom who never cared. She was never really there. I just wanted a family, something of my own, somewhere to call home. But they moved me around to so many different homes. I wanted a child. I had a name picked out. If it was a girl, Brandy. I wanted to name my child Brandy. I love the smell of violets, but nothing beautiful seems to stay. That life still haunts me to this very day. It is something I can't forget. The trauma early on was so hard to bear. I would make up stories and pretend that the awful things that happened to me really didn't. I tried to live in a made-up fairy tale world that I created, where someone would come in and save me. I thought I needed to be saved. And when I needed them the most, nobody came. I made some calls, and they made me take the fall. I risked it all for a choice that I made. My last memory, someone had their hands over me, telling me to keep my mouth shut. I felt like I couldn't breathe. A pillow was over my face, not even sure how they got into my place. Then the next thing that I know, I was floating out to space. I wasn't ready to go. There are so many things that you don't know. The last message that Marilyn left was this: don't let them take your freedom. Don't be silenced, and don't blend it. Don't blend in with the crowd. And she says if she spoke out a long time ago, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Sorry about that. This is just really emotional. But thanks for listening.